Sound good.
Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming out tonight. Tonight is Friday, October 2nd, 2020, in the year of COVID. And you're here with the market wrap up with JD and Mo. Mo Jax, what's good, big guy?
Man, I'm great, man. Feeling good. Back in the mix. It's
Okay.
been an interesting week. So, very interesting week.
Man, glad you're back safe with us, you and the family, and, of course, prayers and still, man, ongoing prayers. So we're happy to see you, man.
Appreciate it. Appreciate
Well,
it.
t- uh, int- you already said it, interesting week. Uh, Last night, I'm just gonna hop right into it. I was looking on. I was just looking over charts, and I had the futures up. So I pulled up the ES, and if we look on my screen, the 5 minute chart, this section right here, this and you know how we talk about news and the news wire and timing. Uh, when I popped in, I put on Twitter. I just like, oh man, that's a bearish engulfing. There's another bearish engulfing. I mean, he just ate it up, and I was like, "What's going on?" And I looked on there, and let's go down to the 3 minute. Let's go to a 3 minute chart, guys. I'm on Thinkorswim uh, on a 3 minute chart, intraday chart. This was last night, and when you know we're looking at like what 11:54, I saw that little tick right there, and it's like, wait a second. Next thing you know, it just kept going down, and then the news hit about, President and the First Lady contracting coronavirus, and I was like, wow, and it just kept selling off, and I was like, there's one thing that people will do. You'll have that one group that will say, let's go short now. The only people that will catch this, in my opinion, are futures traders, and the next day you'll have that recovery bounce or the dead cat bounce or any type of bounce where you can either do a 50% retracement or a retest of something. Mo, did you catch the futures last night at all?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I
you've
had
been
just got back in town yesterday, so I slept
listen, man.
last night. But I did catch the news late. I was reading, and I saw, I didn't catch like that major move, but I saw when the futures started going down, and I did alert the group and put a little something in there. I don't know if it was quite that late, but um, yeah.
And and still news is still coming, and of course the updates on his health and things like that will play a significant role in how price action, because price action again is basically it is just a consensus or an agreement between a buyer and a seller. And when the fear we'll have fear, panic, irrational exuberance, we'll have complacency, where just just stagnation, and we can see all the human emotions within price action. And last night was fear of the unknown. Maybe it's not that bad. Finding out, we come across today, we get to the market open 8:30 Central. We're pop guys. We're trying to, we're trying to make things happen. Economic news are coming in, things are coming in. But later in the day, we're still trying to figure out. We're trying to find what the real situation is to that this is the leader of the free world, and it will affect prices. It's a trickle down to me, Mo. And right here is average price on my chart, the VWAP. And if you notice, we we gravitate back to it because something's going to have to happen to either spike it up or bury it down below the VWAP to cause it's going to be panic, or like, hey, it's not as bad as we thought. That's what I'm taking, and I don't think we can try to get ahead of it. What are your for you as on both sides of it, man? What are you looking for over the weekend going into Monday? Features on Sunday night. What are you going to be checking out?
Well, you know, being a participant in gone through a few Octobers. There's certain,
That brother almost
tendencies.
started smiling, man. He was,
No, I mean it's just certain
I,
tendencies,
right,
certain things happen in October, and didn't necessarily know what it was gonna be,
but it was
but
something.
just had a feeling, something was gonna come in October, and it's interesting. We put it in the mastermind report for DCG, and I pointed a couple of things out from the Cosmos economic section. We kind of look at the astrology stuff too, and it's a lot of things historically with previous crashes that happened in October. I mean, October just has this eerie feeling in the market. So, um, not to say, I mean, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that it was this. Like, I ain't see this coming, but I expected something to come.
But
So as
something.
what am I expecting now? Is just what you said. Like, I'm going to be watching over the weekend, definitely Sunday when the futures open again, and just kind of keeping an eye on news to gauge sentiment. Everything is about fear and greed, and right now, definitely right now, is a time to watch sentiment because the market's been bullish and it's trying to get bullish or get back bullish from before March, and trying to build that sentiment, to do that. But things are kind of like weighing down, and so
Right, right. So
I'm
you're
gonna be
saying it's not getting any traction.
not. It's no. I mean, it's hard to say that it is when unemployment numbers still are high. Um, COVID deaths overall are not necessarily decreasing. They're starting to plateau, but not decreasing. And then we got this going on, like sports teams are pausing, and just when we, kind of collectively have an idea and think, things are opening up and starting to kind of get a groove going, is something else to hold it back. That's just like, hold on. So like that, the overall sentiment on this market and the bullishness forward is like, we want it to be bullish and we're gonna keep pushing it bullish, but it's a lot of headwinds. So that's what I'm gonna be looking for on the future. It's just going into next week is keeping an eye on investor sentiment, um, keeping an eye on the futures markets, and just look and keeping an eye on news and seeing how the markets react basically to how he does. I mean, that's pretty much all we can wait on, and that's kind of like in the short term sense. But
Right.
in a more long term sense, October is usually a month where bottoms typically happen. October, we've had a few Novembers where we've gone down in November too, but October is where bottoms usually happen. So if this is
Okay.
the start of some kind of sale, this would be good. This would be good for the end of the month, going into November, going into December, to get some good, um, you know, get some good entries on some good positions. Just want to make sure we, catching a falling knife. So we got to take what the market gives us. But um, you know,
Well,
I'm expecting the unexpected this month. So
oh,
and
perfect.
I'm like a lion ready to pounce. I'm just waiting for the ox or the buffalo to trip up and
You
drink a
wait
little too much
for a
water.
little stumble. Hey,
I'm
hey,
just waiting for
okay.
him to drink a little too much water.
Well, tell me this. I look at it like this. I used to get in trouble a lot. I mean, not well. Yeah, I did when I was little, man. Only child. So if I would get in trouble out somewhere, and they say you're gonna get a spanking when you get back home, you kind of hope that your mom or dad will forget about that spanking. You get home, y'all have dinner. You might have a little joke, a little laughy laugh, and then before you know, you take your bath and you hop in the bed and go ahead and roll over and try to go to sleep quickly. And I've got my tail whooped up out of bed. I did not forget about this, so it's a pending. The other shoe falling is basically one thing that I still haven't put my 401k money back to work. I have it in like a bond, uh, or anything as close to cash as I can. to protect that. And I had been doing that for in 20 late mid 2019. We
Mhm.
talked about that. Um, One thing I want to talk about, you talked about investor sentiment because we, everybody, the trading aspect is coming in. We have a lot of new investors in the market and a lot of new traders coming in because there's the ability to get into trades without having to, it's not as much of a hurdle anymore. So, um, one thing I've been talking about, I trade breakouts. I like breakouts. I like pullbacks, but I also, one thing I had to learn about was the retest or the pump fake before a true breakout occurs, like in a trend. And a couple of individuals had asked me about that, and I just wanted to show something that I was looking at. And I always, my I always say the tip, just testing the water, your toe in the water. And on a trading range or even a rectangle, we some you'll see it in some places where it's a rectangle breakout, but the breakouts don't just go, it's not just a linear move. A lot of times you can get a retest of a breakout that can occur right after you break out, like, I mean, immediately after, or within a run, you get a nice push, and then you will come back and retest that breakout area to see if it holds. It was previously resistance. When I say resistance, where price really couldn't break above that, couldn't get above it, it broke away, came back in a little bit. Finally, the freedom breakout and would come back. It broke the resistance level, came back and retest this area, and to see if it's support. You know, that's the breakout on a daily chart. You also have the retests on an intraday move, which I want. That's what I really wanted to show. Like today, and I can let me move this right now. The Tesla has had the breakout on the daily. If we see right here on 9:30, September 30th, it tests my wedge pattern that I drew, the wedge formation, broke out on the 1st of October, and the breakout failed. It came back into the wedge because a lot of times that breakout, that initial breakout, is going to retest the breakout area to see if it holds. There's no, I mean, it's just it's ebb and flow of price action. I mean, you sometimes you get that one where it just runs, but a lot of times you get that pullback to support, and then you can find another entry, and you can bet that next time, hopefully, you either get a trading range or you get the true push. So if I dig deeper into this move, and let's go into the 5 minute chart, which I had today, and if I can find my what did I do with let's move it back real quick. There we go. And on the lower time frames, to get your minute charts, guys. Anyway, we'll do it like this. You'll find a breakout area, and a lot of times I call this particular the opening candle. Today was actually a breakout point where had a bullish pop at the open, and then a follow through candle with a lot of power. And I hopped into Tesla today. Hopped in 432. I hopped in on the first pullback. So we have, if you guys look at patterns and candlestick patterns, you get a bull flag right here. Like basically, this is the pole, and price action is kind of pulling back to price support or any type of support level. This particular one has pulled back to my 10 exponential moving average. So when it pulled back, I was looking for my entry, and when I was looking for the entry intraday, I wanted to get an option that could reflect a quick move, and I wasn't looking for a long push because I was still, my daily chart didn't match, but I was said I'm going to do intraday trading. So I hopped in. I got in a little early right there. I caught that move, and I began my exit process as quickly as possible. But the point I'm making is a lot of times the daily chart was not set up for a longer swing play today. It was only set up for an intraday possibility. So in that case, I was expecting this breakout to come back and retest the breakout area. So, and that's when I talk about, I think Sheree asked about that. So we know it started here and we're up here. We're excited. We'll get a lot of people who will buy at this level. And it looks on any other day, that's a bull flag with a push on a daily chart. But if I'm looking and I use the yellow line, which is the VWAP, is one of my like my line in the sand. You guys, with the DCG alligator, you guys have your baselines that you focus on to say, okay, once you get a little bit extended, a lot of times price has to come back to my VWAP, and that's when we had like one deviation, two deviations away from the average price. I said, okay, let's take my profit and move, grab the bag and go. It pulled back. It didn't hold there. It didn't hold at any of these key levels. The follow through, and evidently once it started making that run right here, this looks like that could be a reentry for someone, but it's really pausing. It's a bull leg and just a bear channel going back to test that breakout area. And that's what it did all day. It made that move all the way back down to the breakout area and came back to from whence it came, man. I just wanted to show the group that breakout levels or breakouts and retests happen on your longer time frame and then on your intraday time frame, and something that we have to pay attention to because we get faked out. What are your thoughts on? Because I know you pay a lot of attention to how your moving average is set up. How within your parameters. Do you focus on breakouts and retests at all, Mo?
Yep, that's basis of my trading is pretty much either what we call alligator breakouts, um, or what I call hammer candle reversals.
I love them.
Like those are my two main ones. So yeah, the moving average and how they're set up, is essential for the alligator. And the way we look at it and are able to, just like you say, tell when it's a little bit extended, um, can help determine when to take profit, or for a lot of people, they try to get in the trade when it's too far extended, and it's like,
And
no, just wait a little while.
it's
Be
gonna
a
come
little
back home.
patient and come back and get a better entry. Especially if it's a for real move. It's gonna catch your breath and it's gonna keep going. So.
Well, I, okay, I tell you this, man. I've been really hitting trader psychology for a
Hmm.
good minute. Something
Hmm.
I ignored in the beginning. I was
Hmm.
like, let me just figure out how to get these strategies down to make this money. But realizing that the thing that sabotages all good traders, any trader, and I'm, me included, I have to analyze how I am, and I wrote this down. I said, "Hi, my name is JD, and I have FOMO when it comes to Tesla. That is everything else I can pause and can wait, but Tesla rips so quickly. I find myself not second guessing my trading plan, but I find myself entering too soon because I want to say, hey, I don't want to miss that run. I mean, and then I start, you reverse engineer it. Well, if you miss the run, I can get in and at a different level, but it all comes back to, hey, I'm only playing with a certain amount of money for Tesla, and if if it gets past this level, I can't get the trade, and the FOMO comes in. So it comes into being undercapitalized for the particular position that I want to take in this stock at certain times. And that's when I realized I'll burn a day trade, or I'll be out of day trades and want to do a scalp and say I'll keep it all day and can't get out. Uh, Self sabotage is one of the keys that we have to try to eliminate. And that's why when I can talk it through with you or talk, and we can be our own psychologists, but we're in our head, you
Hmm.
know. But if you're talking it out with someone, it helps to accountability.
Yep.
Uh, so that I just wanted to mention that intraday swings, and I, I I wanted to focus. I had been focusing on too many stocks, and I said, look, Tesla's going to be the one. I've hit big, lost big, hit consistently. I wanted to do intraday trades and my long swings on that. So I'm I have the rhythm of Tesla down until another market swing happens. This is going to be the stock that I'm focusing on for a good period. I know people say, "Oh, Tesla, there's 1,000 others." Well, I got the pulse of Tesla. That's what I want to trade. I get a good rhythm with it. How do you feel about finding that a couple of bread and butter stocks that you, if for trading now, that you can go to the well and say, okay, I know this setup. You have those. You have a couple of those that you like.
Most definitely. I think the best traders have, one or two that are, their babies. They can go to it and, you know, check it out and immediately, that's the one that they automatically look at to, make some money on. So, um, I mean, I think that you're right on. Like when you think about professional traders on the New York Stock Exchange board, like most of those professional traders trade only one company. So, I mean, you right in the million and $1 billion mindset. And as far as for me, my I guess what I would say go to right now or
Is
has
it
been
AMD?
this year. Nah, not it, man, AMD was in that group last year. Nah, I would say it's I want to say Facebook, but it's been a little bit more Disney lately.
Okay.
But Microsoft, Disney, um, Facebook, and Nvidia, like a kind of a rotation depending on how the market is looking. Two of those are I can usually look at, pick up, and do some things with.
Those are all hybrids, man, where you can trade them and buy and hold for long term. I love those. Are my favorite stocks.
Our thing is you got to pick good stuff first. That's half the
Yeah, man.
battle.
Let me. I don't need to look in the group to find something to trade. Now, I'm not knocking that, but that's not my sole. I don't know. That's not my sole source of finding my baskets of stocks. I want to show one more thing, and I'm gonna hand that screen over to you, man.
Oh, it's all good.
With Nvidia, man, um,
Yeah,
I
it's all
saw
good.
the breakout that it had tried to have, and I was talking breakout and retest. A lot of times you get a breakout that you think is a breakout, then it turns into a trading range. Goes up, comes back down, up, and it looks like are we retesting the breakout? And if you really, and when you start digging in deeper, like after the 16th, so we go the 17th, it starts kind of in a tighter range, consolidating in a much tighter range than right here. This was a broader range. It kind of tightened up, price action tightened up. So it found that trading range, and that's the breakout candle right here. So you have a reversal, and I would be watching this to look for an entry on a new high, but I'd still be risky. I'd watch myself because we're getting to the top of a previous range. And if you buy at the top of the range, you fall into the adage of buying high and then people within the trading range, they'll buy high and then they'll sell low. And it should be the opposite. So that would be a risky entry because it broke out. But Nvidia appears to either be if it holds, and I don't even use these particular moving averages on my extended, my longer time frames, but it looks like it wants to come back and retest the breakout area. Hence our retest, the topic or the subject that I was trying to focus on because when you break out, man, a lot of times it will come back in to that breakout area unless it's just, it's just going to run but they all pull back, man. You push up, pull back, push up. You have a flat trading range, breakout, comes right back down. And we look back over here. Okay. And it never, I mean, I say it never fails, but we have to push up, pull back on that day. And if I draw, and always look to the left on our charts, guys, because that's the only thing that we can revisit. We can't look into the future. We can prepare for it, but so we had a kind of a hesitation in price action, had a breakout, boom, breakout from this level, pull back, run up, peaked, sell off on strong, strong volume, hammer candle right here, but price came back and retested the breakout area. And it's still kind of retesting that breakout area. So NVIDIA is actually coiling up, man. I bet the weekly looks really good. It's something, the price is high relative to how we're just looking at price. But
Mm.
for an investment or for a trade, this thing is something to watch. And Robin wanted me to look at this one real quick. PACB.
Mm-hmm.
It is not. It is not a penny stock anymore. So I was in pretty early. Robin's in. Quite a few people are in early, but a lot of institutional buying is what drove that. And then if we come back and look at, we always pay attention to volume on charts. And one
It's
of the
been
things that we're looking, the volume was like 700,000, 1.6 million, 786,589, 821,000, 5 million one day. Then it goes 2 million. Then we go the next, let me zoom in a little bit more. Get 2 million, 5, 982,000. The very next day, 20 million. And they just, and that was the push that's the breakout push. It may come back and revisit it, or this thing may go off to the races and forget about that little gap and kind of, there's a lot of support levels here, but um, it's, Robin is overbought right now. And this particular, this candle right here, that's your, that can be considered an evening. It's a reversal type of candle. Now, not saying it's going to reverse because it just depends on the context. I say it's a reversal candle, but it it could turn out to be, because we have good volume, might be bullish a little bit longer, but we are extended and been extended for a while. I see, like right here, we cannot, on the weekly, we cannot sustain a parabolic move of this sort for like, it's gonna, what they say, the time for honoring yourself will come to an end. In Gladiator, man, it's at some point in time we got to pull back down. You got to come back in and breathe, and then trend in a little range. You see the same thing I'm looking at from that aspect, Mo.
Yeah, of course. Like, I was just sitting here thinking, what you can normally expect from growth, from economic growth, and we think about, these companies as their own little economies. Like, what you can expect from growth is like a 45-degree angle. That's
Half of
typical
that 90.
long term. Yep, that's good growth. Like, if it's, typical, it could even go to 35% or something like that. But I mean 35 degrees. I'm sorry, but you think about a 45-degree angle. That's what the market is going to um you know average over time. When you get parabolic like this, like the way I see it is that's totally getting away from a longer term 45-degree angle. And so it's going to revert to the, that's why I talk about reverting to the mean. It's going to revert to the mean. It's going to revert to the average, which is that 45 degree, exactly what you're drawing right there, that 45-degree, up and down. And that's just very, very extended, and it's going to find its way back to the average. And it's the average is somewhere down near where that blue line is.
It's, and I'm with you on that, Mo. And the thing about it, there's a point in time where, okay, this is what I was listening to a gentleman the other day, and this is called that false positive, man, where um, if we base our moves on on a false positive, where, well, I mean, the chart looks good to me. It looks like it's a lot of green on this chart, and you go in and put $5,000 in, and it goes even higher.
Hmm.
That was the outlier move on a false on a low probability entry. So we deal in probabilities, and if that's why we don't just put money in penny stocks, or that's why we don't wake up and say, hey, you know what, looks like I'm gonna get puts on this market today, unless you have researched, you back tested, have a history, and you're like, you know what, historically speaking, because a lot of your big investors, historically speaking, the doldrums, this particular month, et cetera, oil normally does this, but it's never 100%. But we can prepare for, and there's always a contingency plan. So that's where we set our stops, or have it to where, look, we put our position size and make it according to the risk. That, like, hey, I'm not sinking every penny that I have into this position, because probability may be low, but I want to take a chance on it. That kind of thing. So that's all I have right now on this run, man. Let me hand it over to you.
Oh no, it's all good.
You want
I
me?
have a few things. I don't know if I'll necessarily need this. I may,
It's
but
up to you.
I'll take it in a second.
Okay.
Um, I did want to talk about um a couple of things. This week I didn't do much trading. I was out of town, so I did do a lot of reading. And I came across some older notes, and I just wanted to share a couple of those notes. And I'm going to actually type these out and like create something and post it. But I wanted to share some of those, and then I had a couple articles that I found that I thought was interesting that I wanted to share. Um, at least for the market. So the first thing, couple of notes was for the end of the day checklist, and this goes right into what you were talking about with holding yourself accountable, and you having FOMO, and being able to write that down about yourself, and assess how you're doing as a trader in order to improve. And it's so interesting that you said that, because I was sitting in here and I was like, I know I'm probably going to be way off by saying pulling these out, but I've come across this notebook for a few different things that I was looking up, and it just I kept coming across the space, so I just kind of put a bookmark here. And it's a page that I have a lot of different things on in the market, but what stands out is this end of day checklist and this pre-market checklist. I got it in a notebook. Maybe y'all could. Nah, my background won't let you see it,
Yeah, that
but
money, man. It's always money.
my bad. But I'm gonna type them up and I'm gonna get them out to you. But the end of day checklist, it just had a couple things I wanted to put, so y'all can write these down if you want to. Um, the first one is, did you buy? And this is something you review after your trading, after you've gone through the day, and this is especially good for intraday traders. Did you buy in quiet times or in wild times? Look at your purchases and look at, and compare it to what was going on in the market. And did you buy when it was quiet, or did you buy when it was, a lot of craziness going on? The next one is, did you miss your first exit? That has a lot to do with planning. I know for DCG traders, and I in particular, are and big on setting your stop loss and your profit target before even entering the trade, like knowing
Remember, you used to ask me that, man.
where
Like
you plan on getting out, bro.
I had my stop set, but I was like, shit, I'm riding this thing, man.
Not like, nah, man, it's gonna go somewhere. You gotta have an idea where you think it's gonna go. So it's ways that I show, the traders on how to figure out, and give that kind of forecast. But you want to have a price target. So this question kind of digs into that. Did you miss your first exit? Whether it was, at your stop loss or at a profit target. Um, is the market closing, or did the market close with pressure on the upswing or the downswing?
Ah,
Something that we could look at. Looking at the SPY and the Qs, did it close with pressure on the upswing or the downswing? That's going to give you indication on moving forward. Um, Let me see. It was one or two more. Um, Oh, this is the last one. Yeah. So why is your position ending the day at that particular price? And this also is about being in tune with not only your trade but your company and the pick. When you have an idea, a good idea of why you are in the trade and why you are in at the prices you are in, you can answer. Why is your position ending the day at that particular price? Like, why is Tesla closing at the price that it closed at today, as opposed to any other price? Like, what happened with Tesla or with the market within this day to have that price close at that price? So, this those were just a couple. There are a few more, but it's a little bit more personal for these things. So I just wanted to
Okay, Mo.
share these couple end of day checklists, different things to kind of give you an idea of yourself and to identify your trading. And that also kind of segues into a little of what I was talking about expecting for next week and Monday. After all of this too, we can see, if you look, well, the Apple is a good representation, but if you look at the SPY, we did close down today,
Let me pull it
on
up.
a gap down, and tried to push price up, but um, still closed not mm, lower than the open, but closer to the open than to the high. So, being that we close down today, there's a what I'll be watching for is Monday's trading, to see if we close down on Monday as well. There's a you know interesting phenomenon. I have to find I think it's from the Trader's Almanac, but about down Fridays and down Mondays. When you have a down Friday followed by a down Monday, that don't usually happen too often, and that usually can signal, um, you know,
Bearish
bearish
move.
bearish moves ahead. So, I always notice when Fridays end down, especially because it gap down on the open, so it would have had to work even harder to close up today because it gapped down. But then also it didn't close towards the highs. It closed closer towards its open. So, it closed down. So we'll see how it does Monday. We'll see how futures do Sunday night. We'll see how news comes out about um, the administration, because seeming like more people are
Man,
are getting
it's
hit.
a laundry
It's
list.
snowballing, bro.
And they said the
It's
incubation
snowballing.
period, there, this, what the, it had the first generation, Hope Hicks, second generation was the president, and a couple of others. There's a third generation who have been exposed, who will probably start showing symptoms or asymptomatic over the weekend, going into Monday, over the next few days. That's why you have to get tested multiple times and blah, blah, blah. But uh, conspiracy theories abound. Who's going to, I mean, hey, you can fake this, fake that, but we're going to play it. We need to find a way to align ourselves and position like what you're bringing up, Mo, is like, okay, hey, man, he's faking it. He's faking it. Okay, he's faking it. Let's say he's faking it. Well, how is that going to affect the market? Let's be prepared on either side to make a move, to be in position to I don't want to say capitalize, but react and maneuver ourselves in the right position to where we can protect our family financially for
Yep.
now and
Not
into the future.
lose. You ain't got to necessarily gain, but you can protect and not lose. Um, so
Which is big, man. Because I
yeah.
haven't. One thing that shout out to my wife, Mrs. Ella, beautiful. Hey, baby, I'm trying to. I've been in the doghouse a little bit, man. Baby, I'm sorry, baby. I'm
Yeah.
serious, man. I'm getting my life right.
Gonna
Anyway,
bust out with Jodeci.
Hey, man, look here. we were talking about breakouts, and we're talking about your one of your favorite was Apple. Do you want to have some folks drop a couple of stocks into the
Yeah, they
hopper?
sure can. That's fine. If you like.
Put your if you want us to take a look at the stock.
And before you get into Apple, real quick, while we're getting into looking at, I was gonna say to back up your last comment, like you people can just follow the money, like follow the money. If you can notice and look, like utilities has been doing relatively well the past couple weeks, relative to uh, the general market. So um, it's definitely been a defensive tone. Uh,
Well, you say utilities.
mhm.
Well, man, excuse me, man. But look, I tell you, okay, I tell you this, Mo. What I've noticed, man, and I think we all, well, the fact that you guys are in here tonight is big because I really feel that the more we talk through things, we talk about the markets, we talk about head and shoulders patterns, inverse head and shoulders, trading ranges, pullbacks to support, support levels, resistance, gap fills. The more we can understand that lingo, the more we will catch it somewhere else. We can
Mhm.
spot something. And I'm really big on being able to identify opportunity. Like, oh man, why didn't they tell me this? Why did they? Well, it's up to us to educate ourselves and keep and align ourselves with people who are using that lingo to where it's common vernacular. It's just common to where I know that, hey, man, uh, sector seasonality was something I never focused on till lining up with you, man. Uh, you know, I looked at volume, but I didn't. Volume wasn't the first thing my eyes went to. Mo guys, if we get on as much as we can, build your group. There's a group in here. Connect with each other, but try to find just that rhythm. We're gonna find that rhythm to where I'm trying to open the trading room every day. My computer was slowing up, and I just needed this week too to get my computer right. But I needed to get my trade. I just want to get my trades to where I didn't have to talk just for a second. I just needed to focus and really, because I wanted to get Tesla's rhythm for that 5 day window, and I traded it all 5 days, and I hit uh, three, 4 out of the 5 days. You know, was flat one day. Uh, so anyway, guys, the more you get into it, the more we align ourselves, and we've got a lot of videos that you can watch, and you can watch. Just it doesn't have to be ours, but it's just something to where, like you're a basketball player, you got to put up shots. In my sport, you're a baseball player. You gotta swing that bat. You gotta get that belt. Or if you're a pitcher, you throw a long toss. You get to the point where it's like a video game to where you don't have to think, okay, I moved the mouse over here. The pullback came here. It's a rhythm, and you can see with your eyes. And if I want to draw my trend lines, I draw my trend lines and realize, okay, we have like I talked about the breakout area earlier in a retest on Apple. We can go back all the way to this breakout. We had a gap up and a push, and what did it do? It came back and retested the breakout area. Not it doesn't have to be exact to the penny, but it's the fact that it's coming back to that region is key. So we look for breakouts and pullbacks. So now right here we had a trading range, but what happens here? Now realize resistance hit that double top resistance right there. It didn't go back down, so Apple had some strength. It popped above that level, kind of hanging in this area, broke out a little bit, sold off, and came right back to our breakout area. So Apple actually, for me, is setting up for something. And I need to write the baby. I'm gonna get your pen right now. I'm sorry, it's on your checkbook. I didn't get in there. We got the pen, baby. Writing Apple down. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Apple
Apple
should be
guys. Apple
having
makes
another product release too this month, so
really.
Apple should definitely be on the watch list somewhere,
So
because they should be unveiling a new iPhone sometime this month.
build your watch list right now, guys. We can start building it. So we'll go to the next. Twilio was the first one, I think, in the group. And
Hmm.
if you want to put the alligator on it, it's up to you, man. Uh,
It's no matter.
no, no, shoot, man.
I can pull it up. That's fine.
Yeah, man. I mean, shoot, Mo will break that down. I like when Mo breaks the alligator down, dog. And because I got my, I tell you this, I like Twilio, and I'll pass it to you and whenever you're ready. But let me go to the weekly with Twilio. See, guys,
Yeah.
Mo and I are the same, similar traders. Mo's a little bit more longer term with his trades than I am. Off rip, we both are swing traders at heart, but I tend to gravitate towards. Oh, look at that weekly, man,
Mm.
with volume, and it's not even overbought yet. Guys, I'll tell you on my screen. You can write it down. RSI is the relative strength index. If you're above 70, you're overbought. If you're below 30, you're oversold. You can look that up on YouTube and kind of do a study on that without having to go through it. But this falls right into those pullback, the breakout pullback situation, guys. Bull flag, you can look that up. Perfect bull flag, where it's the pole hit resistance, pulled back to support, and broke out. And another big time trader was like, the stronger stocks, they when they do pull back, they don't pull all the way back to their breakout levels on the longer term trends, unless there's some type of issue. Now Twilio, man, we got a 3 pin Mo right here
Hmm.
on the weekly.
Hmm.
Volume came in. This is probably somebody made some big money from right here to
Hmm.
this range. They probably still in long term and probably got out right here with that pullback. Could re-enter, but we're extended, so they wanted to see a real pullback, and this is it right here. They got it on the weekly, and they re-entered on the high of that previous weekly candle
And broke both previous highs.
and rode and riding that thing into the sun. I don't have the news on Twilio, and I've never traded Twilio, and I'm sure it had news for it to gap up like that on the daily. Uh, it. I'll do one more, and then it's all yours. Because it's a stack of them in here. So we and then NMMD for Robin, and now this one is a lower price stock, but I have history with Robin. We all was it NN? No, that's not it. It is. I pulled it up earlier. Robin, what's the ticker again? Because
NNMD.
yeah, and it didn't pull up NNMD.
Mm.
Uh, NNDM. Okay. Make sure. Yeah, man. Thank you, Robin. But this is like a lower price one, and the idea is, you remember on PACB, Pacific Biosciences, with the institutional buying came in. I'm thinking like we have 1 million, 1.8, 900,000, 833, 1.2, and then 331 million shares on May 19th. So on the daily chart, you have 457,000 shares on a Tuesday, 5:15. On the 16th or the 18th, that Monday, 660,000 shares are sold, traded, and then all of a sudden, 331 million shares. That's not a retail. That's not Robinhood. That's BlackRock. That's ARK. That's uh, so, and you see that how strong that candle is. So this is the type of company. If we're looking at penny stocks, and shout out to our stock scouting report that's coming out later this week. Uh, we're doing penny stocks, guys. Everybody I asked about them, but we're doing innovators under $10. We're looking for the ones that do things like this. Um, Robin, you're gonna have to go with your gut on this because and the research will have to come down to institutional buying. Uh, the chart is green, but it's there's no definitive move setting up right now. But the last volume move was 111 million, the big spike just out of the blue. So there's money coming into it, and Robin has a lot of articles on that. So I mean, we had 18 million just out of the blue, 2.4. So this is one to pay attention to because when a lot of institutional buyers come in at this level and this $2.36, and it's a nanotech company. If you take a position in it, do your research, uh, and you know you have to do asset allocation. What percentage you're going to use to put at risk because it's all going at risk. You know, it's risk on when we buy it, even if it's just $2. Because when it's $2, people we think we can spend. Let me put 2 G's in there, and I have you know 2,300 shares. You know, whatever, and I can I can vote at the shareholders meeting next time. We can wear that kind of stuff. So I mean, like I always say, the Grambling Qs can move the market with $2.36 stock that's a low float, but this has big volume right now coming in. So you you ready to you queued up, man?
Oh man, I'm good. I'm always ready.
No, so you say you stay ready. I had it, Floyd. I mean, if you stay ready, man, you ain't got to get in shape. I stay in shape, baby. I'm ready, baby. And so we'll go with you
Was
can take it whenever. There we go.
nuts.
And let's see the next one after NNDM. Thank you, Robin, for that one. That's on my list. I need to put and can you do Uber for wifey?
Okay, I sure can.
Thank you, brother. I mean, I mean that's my wife. I'm doing
I
my
got
best
the trade desk up right now.
already.
Marsha asked for this one, um, and we're not overbought at all. And then with this alligator, we're up and out. Um, this one's a little parabolic, starting to get parabolic, and this is on a weekly chart.
Have
So
you traded Trade Desk yet?
mm,
I haven't
maybe
messed with it.
once, maybe once, but I can't. I have to go back and look.
Anybody in the
Not
chat
recent.
or in the group traded it, guys? In here, let us know because
Yeah, not
this
recently. Maybe once though. Last year.
I've been seeing the name, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely been, um, you know, around the last couple of years. So, and it's not a you know, old company. Looks like it IPO'd in 2016. So, um, 4-year-old company, just getting going. Um, not sure where this is gonna lead though. Let's look at the daily. Um, yeah, and this
It's a
even
beautiful
extended.
move, man.
Yeah, it's a great move. You're catching it right here.
That pullback to
Uh-huh.
oh y'all when you say the alligator's
Coming out,
eating.
and this is it's eating right now. It's a bit extended. We like it to be, close and on to this alligator. We still want it to be in that 45-degree range, pointing towards 2 o'clock. But we kind of between 12 and 1 right now. This is getting a little parabolic. So um
And guys, you know the word parabolic, just almost straight up, man, where it just was a rocket taking off and it just can't sustain it.
if you're in, you may want to consider taking profits here. If you're looking to get in, I would wait until this one pulls back to this support resistance level here at 500. It That would be the most ideal entry here is at 500. Judging by uh, this weekly chart, let's see, here's 500 here. Maybe even five. I would say maybe even 520. based on the weekly, but this 500 area, 500 to 520 is the ideal entry area for the trade desk. Mm, that's just looking at the chart. I'll have to go and kind of look deeper into uh, what's going on behind it because I have seen these push, but this is getting a bit extended, and this is not the ideal place you want to make an entry. This is a lot more high risk um,
That's key.
in making an entry off of a support level. That's where you want to make an entry. Let's see. You said Uber.
Yeah, if you could do it for for my wife, brother.
All right. Let's check out the weekly. Oh, we got a nice one. Reverse head and shoulders on the weekly for Uber. We got a shoulder here, head here, shoulder here. Um, with and it's pretty much right at the neckline right now, or what would be considered the neckline, right at 38. So this is promising for an up move. Uh, let's see, we got resistance areas at 38.50 and at 40. So those are your two, um, I guess, points of interest: 38.50 and 40. If
Okay.
we push up past 40, then could be seeing 45.
Because I
This
kept seeing that name pop up a little bit with Uber. They had some news over in London last week about, how are you an employee or you're a contract worker? I think that that ruling was favorable to Uber from a contract worker standpoint. So, um,
alligators coming out the water on the weekly, coming out the water on the daily. Prices just coming up off on the daily. This is a great chart. This is
all
a
right.
great chart. Um, so
I
yeah,
appreciate that for wifey.
we want to see it break past 40 and 45. Then it's gonna be off to the races, all time highs. We're looking for 50 and then 100. So, all right, what was next? I didn't see the chat. So,
I'm trying to get it back up, man. I can't. I'm messing up. Let's see. Okay, we had
I remember seeing this one,
uh,
Fastly.
yeah, yeah, for
But
Cleo
this
and Jelani, man. Jelani was one of our students last week
one,
in the options class.
yeah,
Enjoyed it. Thank you.
yes, thoroughly.
18 years old, man, and came in there and hope
He
he
gonna be
enjoyed it.
he gonna be a lot better at 21 than I was. I tell you that much.
Yeah, because
Um,
mm-hmm.
so Fastly is this is another great chart. Um, this is a weekly. It's just coming off the alligator on the weekly and um, nice, you know, strong, stable uptrend with this. This is what we want to see. You see how it pretty much kind of got extended and pulled back. Got extended and pulled back. This is what
Thursday was the day that I saw Fastly. Are you on the daily on
I
Fastly?
am now.
Okay, that Thursday, today was that pullback, but it
That was here. This doji. This is Thursday.
okay.
That
Where's today for the daily?
this one, unless it was yesterday. This was
It
last.
was okay.
This is yesterday. So, um, I mean, even still, I mean, this is a great alligator right here. I don't really like this sledgehammer candle, but support is really close at $90. $90 is the strong support level here for this trend. Uh, Anything below 84 is bearish, but we hold this $90. An entry at 93 ish, 93 to 93.50 will be ideal for this continuing trend here. And as you can see, even this like sledgehammer candle, we still had up days even after. So it's not that this will definitely, uh, you know, reverse, but
And
um,
it is coming back to, I mean, trying to
it's
break out, man.
coming
It's,
right back to support to
yeah.
break out again like it's been doing. So this is a great chart right here. Great chart.
ZS, Zen Scalar. I was checking.
Z Scalar, that's
I
another.
said Zen Scalar, yeah.
That's a cybersecurity stock.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
in our report.
$100 price target on Fastly. I like that one. Zscaler. This is another one that I like as well. With the cyber.
Hmm.
So let's go to the weekly
Guys,
real quick.
keep the watch list going. We had Apple, NVIDIA, NNDM for just, for your research purposes as well. We just did Fastly, right?
Hmm.
FSLY, and looking at Zscale and Uber.
Yep. Zscaler is another one. This one's coming up off the alligator.
Ooh,
It's looking at 150 price target. Uh, we cleared this, so we could see as high as 163.80. But prudently, I would say 150. This is on a weekly chart, so uh, could
see,
be.
Mo is patient, guys. He will go to that weekly first.
Yeah, gotta see the overall trend and
Man,
see
I
how
go right
long
to the
it'll
daily.
it'll take. Now I'm looking at this and to get to 150 based on the previous price action, it could take 1 to 2 weeks. So that's how long I would be you know
Willing to.
looking to and if and that's assuming it didn't pull back to support. I mean, this is still strong support here at 120, so it could pull back here and still hit 150, but that may take another 2 or 3 weeks. So that it just helps me get an idea of how long I could possibly be in the trade. And
Um,
then the daily, and this is looking good. We pulling back to support right here at 140. um,
hmm See
and
how it operates
150 is
next week, huh?
crosshair, man.
Well, okay, Mo, tell me this, man. I always see young, investors and traders. Okay, more so like a new investor who wants to trade, and when they get into it, they may not have done all the research, but someone drops a hint like, "Hey, man, hop into this stock," blah blah blah. They get in, and it doesn't do exactly what was supposed to happen, and they don't know what to do with like panic to get out. um, what do you lend? What is your suggestion to them about prior to entering before you get into a stock? Let's say you don't know it. I got $500 and I'm in BSI or whatever, and stocks got Nubians. You see somebody put it in there or another group get into XYZ stock. You throw the 500 in there, that thing runs up, and then it pulls back. It does a genius on you. Yeah, and what do you tell someone prior to getting in? What should they do before they hop into a stock? I mean, well, I mean, without giving up, without going like
No, I
two
mean,
weeks long.
it's that's tough to say because before you get into it, for me, it's know your why. Like, um, you got to have some kind of idea of um what are you getting into this stock for?
Is it going
Why
to be a
are you getting
trade, or you
exactly?
going to hold it for a few weeks or a
or
month, a
or
year?
you looking to see, or were you thinking you can get in and get out of this today? Like all of that, all of those are whys, and all of those whys frame how to approach any kind of trade. Like if you thinking, oh well, it's Friday, I'm gonna see if I can make some quick Friday money before I go out. I you can't look at a daily chart or go with people that are looking at daily chart, maybe not even an hourly chart. If you're trying to do a trade like that, intraday, you had you so even before I can say, look at this and set support resistance here, look at profit targets here. I would say no. What are what are you doing with this trade? Is this something that you're not gonna touch for a while, or is this $200 that you really try not to lose and you really want to make something with? What's your whole purpose? What's your why? You know, that's I guess The
That's perfect, man. That's what I was getting at. Thank you. And can you do for Mrs. Jones, CATM, and we get ready. It's almost time
yeah,
to wrap it up.
yeah, that sounds good to me. Um, this one, okay, so this one is kind of the opposite of, let's look at the weekly chart. Okay, so gotta definitely identify the trend. You can see that this is on a downtrend and has been since January, um, even before Corona. It's been on a downtrend, and this downtrend been continuing. On my weekly, my alligator has completely reversed. That's not a good sign. It's going to take a lot of time and pricing power to move this back into a bullish look like this when it's flipped like this. So that's just kind of what I noticed using the alligator. Um, I also noticed, this is now resistance. And not only is my red line resistance, actually my yellow line has become a resistance too. So these prices are not even pushing to the upper limits anymore. So it's look like it's getting weaker and weaker basically. When I look at the daily, um, my red line, my upper limit line is holding strong as resistance. Like these prices are not clearing this red line. I mean, even here it tried, but it's not clearing this red line with any strength, and it's not holding at all. So um, we bounced off, we've come off. This price is moving up here. Once again, we get into this area where it has not, shown it has the strength, the force to push up and move past. So um, I'd be looking actually to short in this area, this 2150 22 area. It should it push up here into the $22 area. That would be even better for a short. But uh, just looking at the chart, I would definitely go into the company, look it up on investors.com, IBD, at least try to get an idea of the products they sell and maybe what's going on recently. You can also look at FinViz and put in the ticker and look at the news, but just try to get a little idea of what's going on with the company, what's been moving, this price over the last few weeks or whatever, to see if there's anything going on that could probably be a catalyst to push this, to change the current sentiment and trajectory of what's been going on. And if there's not anything new or strong or big enough, that can do that, like I mean, if it's been the same kind of news and it's just, you know, going through the motions, like I would look to short here, because this,
She
it's
wants it to continue to go down. So, all right.
that's it.
But shoot, might get the wish on that. Well, hey,
Uh,
I was gonna say, guys, that we're gonna probably wrap it up right now for the Friday night fun time. I just wanted to show. I appreciate you doing that, Mo. I'm gonna I put the email. Well, I'll put it in there right now. Uh, if you guys have questions, email me at JD, and you can reach out JD at yourmobiletrader.com, or you can reach out to Mo. And yeah, if you guys, we're gonna put out the stock scouting report coming up very soon for the month of October 2020. Is going to be the penny stocks, uh, your innovators under $10, aka penny stocks, where they're gonna have to fit a certain criteria, and it's gonna be for a longer term play. It's not gonna be the pump and dump stocks that you get in and have to worry about getting out because all the volume dried out. So if you're interested in it, just let me know in my email or let Mo know, and and it every month, and we put different. Biotech was June. I think gaming and entertainment was
that was a great
July.
that
Uh,
was
huh?
I said that was a great one. Some of those
Yeah,
companies.
that was fun, man. That was fun. And then we did the mining and metals. August, September, we had
Cybersecurity.
cybersecurity. Yeah. So we and Regeneron was one of our top picks
Biotech.
in the
Yep.
biotech one, and that was what they used for the cocktail for the president today was Regeneron, and it popped after hours. So not to say that hey, we predicted this, but that stock was a strong stock from out the out the
Yep.
gate, and
Picking good
so
stuff from the get go. That's half the battle.
so the whole idea, guys, is to give you guys, and there's a cost for it. It's $49 per for the report. But I mean, the first one was 29 pages of detailed breakdown, and that's it. But if not, if it doesn't work for you, we just keep moving and we keep getting these videos and then we keep fellowshipping and learning how to do it. But we thought that everybody would be interested in the penny stock side of thing too, because the pricing, uh, you know, is it's coming out this next week. Uh, so
Next Friday. Mhm.
next Friday, man. So
Mhm.
just email me and I'll put you on the list, guys. Let's see if I can. I want to make sure my email went through.
I see it on here.
Okay, cool. Well, guys, write it down, email me, or we'll post it also in the Stock Scouts to another just
Mhm.
another link. So, guys, y'all have a great weekend. Mo, as always, man, I appreciate it.
Been great, my brother.
All right, man. So
Look
we'll see
forward to next.
y'all. And guys, we just stay in the Stock Scouts, ask questions, put it up, and just be safe. So how many do you give each week? Picks? We don't give picks each week. It's just going to be that report's going to it's going to be like 20 plus pages of breakdowns of in that within that report, and that's going to be for a longer term position. We'll give options play, but we'll give the stock buy and hold. We're looking at a 1 to 3 year window for uh, holding these stocks, just so you can get some appreciation. So,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna stop the recording. And
Yes, sir.